Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Lunch Talk with the Carters. I am your hostess. I'm Star Carter.
And I am your host, Michael Carter.
And we just come to tell you all that it is time to get the show started. What's up? What's up, guys? It is Monday. We are back with a brand new episode from Lunch Talk with the Carters on this July 2nd. We into a new month, babe. We only got 5 more months before this year is going to be out. 2019 is on the way.
It is going quick. It's going quick.
All right, guys. So, unfortunately, we did not have a show last week because babe was not feeling good. And this episode is called In Sickness or in Health.
Yeah, I had a little incident with my little back molars. My wisdom tooth had to get taken out. And for all you guys out there that had that done, you know that's a lot of pain, and I'm still recovering from that, but I'm coming along pretty good.
Oh yeah. So like I said, we're going to talk about in sickness and in health today. So when your mate or your spouse or whoever you've been in with a long time relationship, when they get sick, is that a scary time for you guys? Do you know what to do when they get sick? Fortunately, when Mike went through his wisdom teeth scare, I had already had mine out like 10 years ago. So I had all 4 of mine pulled at one time. So I had already kind of knew what to expect. And when the nurses after his procedure was over with, because he had to get put to sleep for the very first time.
Yeah, first time ever getting put to sleep. So, you know, me being a grown man still was kind of scary at the time. And, you know, I'm talking like 50 Cent a little bit, but it was a experience. It was an experience. Once I came out of it, you know, I was feeling pretty good. They put you on some good stuff. So, you know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't, you know, as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah. He was so, happy about being put to sleep when he came out of the surgery. They wheeled him to the car, and I was, we was already parked at the front, so all I had to do was just go around and open up the door for him when they wheeled him out. He was looking up at the sky and he was like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." And he just looking down at his arms. And I guess like it was a kind of little breeze out there. So it was going across your skin and you was like, "Oh, it feels so good." And then, and I told Mike when we was in the waiting room, I said, "Now your first time being under anesthesia, is known for people to talk out their head and say all kind of crazy stuff when they come out their head after, coming out of anesthesia." So, you know, you kind of in the sleep world, dream world. You're not quite there. You're there, but you're not quite there. And, so I told him, I said, "Don't be surprised if you say some crazy stuff when as you coming out." 'Cause I remember 2 years ago when I had to have my lymph node taken out, to be biopsied, they, told me I had the whole nurses ward back there cracking up, and I have no clue what I said, what I did. You know, I just remember them saying that to my brother when they was bringing me back into the recovery room, after it all was said and done. So it's kind of like what Babe went through. He actually wanted to have the rest of his teeth taken out, because
that's crazy,
that's what he said to me. He's like, "Babe, I want to go back in and get the rest of my teeth pulled out because I want to go back to sleep."
And I had no idea what I'm saying at the time, you know, because, you know, when they put you under, like she was saying, you know, you have all sorts of crazy thoughts and stuff going through your head. And all the thing I remember, guys, is getting home and she telling me, "Babe, we're at the house." That's basically all I remember. Yeah. And I have no idea what was said between that time. Yeah, and we was in Anderson at the time. So the ride from coming out the doctor's office from Anderson back to Greenwood, I have no idea.
Yeah. So I know a lot of you guys are listening to us that don't live in our area. So we were about a 45-minute drive away from where we actually stay. We had to go to another town. So we was about 45 minutes out. So for that whole 45 minutes, he did not have a clue. Now I do tell you one thing that he did know. I don't drive my husband's car that much, and you probably don't remember, but when I put your car in drive, I guess it's something about if you don't have it in the right little dot, it sounds like you in the wrong gear. Mm-hmm. And you looked over me and like, "It's wrong. Mm-hmm. It's wrong." Mm-hmm. And so and then you pointed to it. And then I was like, I said, "Oh, okay." So I had it in drive, but I didn't have it in the right spot, and it sounded like I was rearing up.
Yeah. You good, because I don't remember none of that. I don't remember nothing. I don't remember nothing. But, you know, the whole show topic, guys, is sickness and in health. You know, when you get with your mate, you know, you're going to go through sick times. You're going to go through good times. You're going to go through bad times. And to me, that really shows the character of the person you're with, and it shows the strength of your relationship. When someone can put up with you when you're sick, because, you know, most guys now, you know, guys, we are big babies, you know, when we get sick, you know, we tend to be mummified, you know, we want to be babyfied, you know, and it speaks highly of your mate to stick with you, because, you know, commitment and dedication to your relationship and to your mate during that time is very important. It's very important. And again, like I said, it shows that they care, because you can say some bad things when you're in pain, you know, and that goes both ways, male and female. You know, you can snap at your mate when you're in pain. And, you know, I feel that if they're understanding and they still be with you and still try to do for you, that speaks, you know, loads of that person and their commitment and their love for you. So, you know, in sickness and in health, that's a good title for this show, which she gave. Yeah, that's a good title.
Yeah, I mean, cause, you know, like you said, every day it's not always going to be sunny. It's going to be some unexpected. I mean, when Mike first complained about having a toothache, I mean, we didn't know that he was going to have a wisdom teeth taken out. So that's like a whole nother level of saying, okay, I got a toothache. I might have to get a filling, or, you know, might have a simple extraction in the office. But when they're talking about actual oral surgery and having to be put to sleep, that was like a whole nother level of care, because, you know, a lot of people don't come out of anesthesia. So it's already a scary thing to be put under, one thing, and then to have surgery from it is something else. So you got to take that into consideration. A lot of people get very sick. So I didn't know how Mike was going to react, because he had never been put to sleep before. Me, I've been put to sleep several times. So I mean, I told him it was a walk in the park, but everybody is different, you know? And so I didn't know what to expect, how he was going to react. Luckily, the oral surgeons that he did, they loaded him up with all the medicine that he could possibly need if complications were to arrive. So that was a good thing. And then taking instruction from the nurses that came out and talked to me after his surgery was over with, making sure that he took his medicine at the time it was supposed to be taken, and what foods he can eat, because he's tired of mashed potatoes at this point. This is
I don't want to see a damn another mashed potato. Oh my goodness.
So mashed potatoes and pudding and jello and stuff is what he's been having to have since the surgery was Thursday.
These 5 days?
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 5 days. 5 days.
Yeah, so
oh my goodness.
He's been having to do that. And I told him, I said, you know, you're very blessed that it wasn't but one. Well, he had two taken out. He had two teeth taken out, but just one of them was wisdom. But I had all four of mine taken out, and I told him I was out of commission. I couldn't even work for 2 weeks. So I told him, luckily you had to have them all taken out. But if you ever had to have your wisdom teeth taken out, then you know the pain that he's in, and they was impacted. The one that he got taken out was impacted to his jaw, so his jaw is very sore right now.
So that's the worst part. It's your jaw. The actual teeth extraction wasn't bad. It's like the pain in your jaw afterwards. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And you know, and my husband is his mama's son, only son. So with that being said, when I called my dear sweet mother-in-law, I was like, as we was leaving, cause he was like, call my mama, we couldn't even talk, but call my mama, come on, tell my mama, let my mama know I'm okay. I'm like, okay, I'll call my own dudes. So I called her, and of course, they said that Mike is her baby. You know, she only have them two, his sister and hers, but Mike is the oldest, but he's the baby. Mike's the oldest, but he's the baby. Well, and she was like, you know, I was telling her everything and what the doctors said. I mean, what the nurses had told me afterwards, and da. And she was like, okay, make sure you take care of Michael. And then, so his sister was in the background like, you hear my mama, you know? I said, I'm going to take good care of him. He going to be in good hands. I'm going to go get everything he needs, his mashed potatoes and everything. Oh, you don't have it already? Huh? I'm like, no, I got to go get his prescriptions, and then I'm going to go buy the stuff, because I wanted to make sure that I got what they said you could get. I didn't want to just go buy stuff and then, you know, you can't have it. So I was just waiting to see what the doctors said first. So, you know, you got to make sure that your loved ones are taken care of. And like Mike said, you know, when they get frustrated, you know, cause at first, when Mike first got home, he felt no pain. Cause, you know, they done gave him anesthesia, then they gave him steroids, you know, all that in that area. So of course you don't see it. I mean, you don't feel it. So he didn't even think they even pulled a tooth out his head at first. So he was like, they didn't do nothing. So he just thought he had a gall in his mouth and that was it, until the actual pain started coming in and he felt his jaw tight and the pain. And then that's when he realized, oh yeah, they did something. And then so, you know, he's getting frustrated with the pain and not being able to open his mouth completely and everything. And he was like, this bleep, bleep. Bleepy bleep.
You know, broke my bleepy bleep jaw.
And I was like, babe, just calm down. You know, you don't want to get yourself all worked up and then you be in more pain. And then he gave me the look of the devil. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm finna go. Cause I know you hurting. And I mean, and you're not being mean on purpose. You are hurting, and I understand that. So you gotta, you know, when your loved ones go through sickness, you know, just be there for them. Make sure that they doing what they supposed to do. Don't let them, you know, go off what the doctors say. Cause my husband is not a medicine taker. He does not like to take medicine. And they gave him 4 different kinds of medicine to take. Yes, like 2 different types of pain, antibiotic, and a nausea pill, because you don't never know how you're going to do on the medicines, especially after coming out of anesthesia. So they gave him they gave him the precautionary stuff, like I said. And so, making sure that he took that medicine every 3 hours, the first 24 hours of the surgery is very important. So I'm like sleeping, catnapping, because every 3 hours it's kind of like having a newborn baby. You know, when you have to feed them every 2 hours when they get hungry, it's the same kind of schedule. So every 3 hours, I'm trying to make sure that I wake myself back up so that I can wake him up. And then you feel bad. I didn't really want to wake you up because I'm like, he was sleeping so good. And I know when I wake him up, he gonna feel that pain. You know, but he got to take the medicine to keep the swelling down.
Yeah, that's the most important thing within that first, 24, 48 hours or whatever. Yeah, you got to stay on that regimen. You got to stay on that regimen for infection and swelling. That's the most important thing. And she did very well. So I have to say she did very well. You know, she took care of me and everything. So, you know, but, you know, it's part of the relationship. You know, don't look at it as your mate have to do it, because that's when you start taking people for granted. Okay. It's just be thankful that you have that type of person that's willing to do it, because you could have one of those a-holes for a mate and say, well, you do for yourself. You know, you feel for yourself. You do this for yourself or whatever. You're a grown man or you're a grown woman. You do this for yourself. But if they actually care and they want to make sure you're cool, make sure you're all right, you know, they're going to, you know, look out for you and do what they got to do to make sure you're going to be all right.
All right, guys. So we appreciate it. I'm not going to put too much strain on Mike trying to talk, because his jaw, like I said, is real tight. And, you know, if you can tell the difference in his voice, his jaw is very tight. He got stitches in his gum and in his
like
jaw.
50 Cent.
So I say talking through his teeth. Can't hardly laugh. So I don't want to put too much strain on him to talk during the show, but we really do appreciate you tuning in as always to Lunch Talk with the Carters. And in sickness and in health is the title of this show. So if you guys want to comment on some of the times that you had to be there for your mate through sickness, please, we'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you check us out on our social medias at Lunch Talk Show. And also you can listen to the show on Radio Public. That is our supported app. And when you listen to our show through Radio Public, you are financially supporting our shows and shows just like ours on that app. And also you can hear us on iTunes, Google Play, Overcast, a whole bunch of different ones, iHeartRadio. Make sure that you're checking us out and following us on our different social medias. We got some good things coming up in the works. As we said, we're going to start having some guest speakers on our show. So just look forward to some great things coming in the future from Lunch Talk with the Carters. All right, babe, you got anything you want to say before we end this show?
Nope. I'm finna go take my medicine.
All right, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. Hope you have a blessed week.
All right.
Peace.